Happy Thursday! It is literacy time. We are going to read a book today, and then you have one job to do in Seesaw and one job to do from your little packet of things that I dropped off, okay? So, we are going to read today part of a story. So, this book called Chicks and Chickens by Gail Gibbons is so great. It is filled with so much information. And the good thing about books is that you don't always have to read the whole part. And I'm actually just going to read a couple pages today because today we are going to learn about chick eggs. Just the eggs, okay? We're going to get lots of facts and lots of information. And Gail Gibbons, like I said, we'll come back to this book a couple other times because she has so much information to teach us about chicks and eggs, okay? So I'm going to start with this page, okay? And it says, each day the hen lays another egg. Usually there are 6 to 20 eggs. Any group of eggs in a nest is called a clutch. After the hen has laid all her eggs, she sits on them gently, turning the eggs over now and then, keeping them warm all over. Warming the eggs is called incubation. All right, we hear that word because incubation, we have an incubator. That's what our job is when we have the eggs, is to keep them warm. All right, here we go. The mother hen incubates her eggs for about 3 weeks. During this time, a chick is growing inside each egg. So there are 7 days in a week, and we keep the chicks in the incubator for 3 weeks, which is 21 days, okay? If the chicks were at home with their mom, they would be in the nest for 21 days while their mother sits and takes care of them, okay? So this is what is happening inside the eggs on some of the days, okay? On day 1, an embryo starts to form on the yolk, okay? So here's the egg. You will probably recognize the yellow part is the yolk, okay? Inside a fertilized egg, an embryo starts to grow. That starts to be the baby, okay? And I'm going to teach you all about all the other parts in just a minute, okay? Day 3, blood vessels spread over the yolk. Blood flows through them, carrying nutrients from the yolk to the embryo. The heart develops. All right, they did a diagram. Here it shows us the blood vessels, and then here it shows us their little heart starting to develop. Day 7. Now the embryo is surrounded by a water-filled sac. As the embryo gets bigger, the yolk is its source of food. Day 12. The embryo looks like a tiny bird. Okay, it has its wings, its legs, its tail, its beak, and its eye. Okay. All right, here we go. When the incubated eggs are about 3 weeks old, the mother hears a cheeping sound. The eggshell of one of the eggs begins to crack. A chick uses its egg tooth, which is a sharp part of its beak, to break out of the shell. The other eggs begin to hatch too. Okay, so you'll see this will happen to our eggs. We'll start to get little cracks. That's how we notice they're coming, okay? And right here it says the egg tooth falls off after the chicks has hatched, okay? Here's the egg tooth. Somebody asked that question. How do the chicks get out of the eggs? Well, that's how. They use their egg tooth on the top of their beak to crack open the shell. All right? All right, kindergarten. So I have made a really big chart and I've labeled the parts of the egg. That is actually going to be your job today too. When you open up your Seesaw and click your activities, I have an egg and it is empty. It has the parts, I should say, and then there's arrows or lines, and you need to write and label the different parts of the egg. So I'm going to go over them again. You can always pause this video or go back and rewatch the video if you need to remember the different parts of an egg, okay? So let's start with this big, I didn't use the right colors because I wanted you to be able to see it. The yolk is usually yellow, okay? We have fertilized eggs and unfertilized eggs. Unfertilized eggs are the eggs that we eat, okay? They do not have a baby chick growing inside of them, the ones that we eat, okay? When an egg is fertilized, that's when it starts to grow a chick, okay? So in the yolk, there's a little dot and it's the embryo, okay? That's the baby chick, all right? And the baby chick, inside the egg, it needs to eat, okay? And the yolk, that becomes the chick's food, okay? And the yolk will get smaller as the chick gets bigger because the chick is eating the food, part of the yolk, and that's where it gets its nutrients from, all right? We also have this part right here, the white part inside, it's called the albumin, okay? And that gives the chicks water, okay? So they need nutrients, they need their food and water, and they get their water from the albumin, okay, which is all on the outside. All right, you also see this little arrow and you see a shell, okay? That protects the chick. The hard outer layer of the egg is what protects it and kind of holds it inside, all right? We have another part. Down here is called the air space, all right? And in the air space, that's how the chicks get the air they need to breathe, okay? So down below here is the air space. All right, there's another part that I just learned about, and I don't even know if I'm saying the word correctly, okay? But it is called the chalaise. And it holds the yolk in place. Again, it's like these little spiral rings, and that's holding the yolk in place in the middle, all right? So you go find your seesaw, you open it up, and I want you to label the little parts, the parts of the egg, all right? And then you have one other job kind of for your station today, and you are going to be finishing writing some sentences with your sight words, all right? You started that yesterday. You probably did a couple. Actually, I think I asked you to do 8. So today, let's do 8 again. That's a good goal for us, okay? So do 8 more sentences with your sight words, okay? So take a sight word. Go. Think of a sentence with that. I go to Target. All right? Good job. Keep up the good work. I love that we're already starting to learn about our eggs, and soon the eggs will be here. I have some news, and I'm going to share it on Friday. All right?